You guys, dudes, y'all should totally check out Brotastic Nerddom. If I talk like this, it makes me sound like a really serious person. Brotastic Nerddom, what's up?
Thank you very much, Anjali. It was very nice meeting you and talking with you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Here with Rusty as from Video Game Heaven.
Y'all ain't ready for this. I don't even know if I'm ready for this.
Oh my god, what happened to your head, dude?
Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody at Brotastic Nerddom.
The Brotastics, you guys should be doing restaurant reviews.
So guys, I'm Zach, Brotastic. I'm here with Anjali Bhimani, the voice of Symmetra in Overwatch and many other things. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. This convention has been out of control awesome.
Yeah, it's been a really great show so far.
Yeah.
So it was working out well for you down there, everybody.
It's just, I am always blown away by the kindness and generosity of the people who come to the booth. But at this particular convention, I have been blown away even more so than normal by the amazing cosplayers. Like the level of cosplay, like they took it to 11. They went straight up Spinal Tap. Like they just, it's been phenomenal to see the things. I've been fanning out. I've been like,
There's been some incredible ones. Did you go to like the second floor gazebo area? Yeah, that's just where they all hang out.
Yes, totally. Oh yeah, no, I've totally photobombed like half those pictures just because I was so excited. I was like, can I be in your picture? Please let me. And then we got to go to the Overwatch cosplay meetup the other day in the morning by the fountain, and people, I mean, it's just amazing the amount of creativity and like commitment to creation that I'm seeing here at Katsucon, and really just among the whole community, is always just really mind-blowing to me.
I guess that leads me to a question. Did you expect the level of excitement for Overwatch and that community when you were, given the job, or as you were recording, did you think that this was going to be one of the most popular games?
The short answer, no. I had no idea. I mean, I knew when I auditioned for it, I knew it was a game being done by Blizzard, so I knew it was going to be amazing because they don't put anything out there that they haven't really put together well. And but we didn't. Each one of us, we didn't really have all the details of what our characters were, or all the details. We didn't know what they looked like in game and all of that stuff until maybe our first recording session. And so it was a gradual build of excitement for us as well, and definitely for me, because Symmetra doesn't have, she wasn't in any of the shorts as well, so I really had no idea of the interaction between the other characters or where she fit in. So it wasn't really until the beta when I started to understand what was happening. And it was mostly because of the reactions of the community and people just like voraciously jumping in and devouring the content and everything. And I get really excited. Like, I'm a terrible gamer. I'm really bad on console. I used to play RPGs on my PC, and then back when I was a kid, and then when all the first-person shooters came out, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I quit.
It was a bit of a jump.
Yeah. But then when this came out, obviously I felt the need to jump back in, and I'm still terrible at it. But jumping into the lore of it and the way Blizzard put that out there was as exciting to me as a storyteller and a lover of stories as I think anyone in the community who was starting to eat up this content. And that's how I feel still. I get excited when new stuff comes out.
I mean, they're great character designs, and it really set itself up nicely for just a rabid community to just devour it, and it certainly has.
And for people to find their way into the game, not just through gameplay, which is really cool, because then families can enjoy it, even if, say, the parents aren't playing and the kids are, or the kids aren't playing and the families are.
Right.
I mean, and the parents are. There's a way in through the story and through the shorts and through the comic books, so there's something for everyone, and I really like that.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Do you play your own character?
I mostly do, just out of stubbornness, because I feel like it is my duty to learn how to play.
Is that weird? Like, when something happens to you, hearing your voice react to it?
No, mostly I'm talking to myself as I'm talking.
Oh.
Like when I'm playing and I'm like, oh no, that was terrible. Oh no, don't die, I died. Like stuff like that, I will screw up. But I don't, hearing my own voice because I don't actually sound like that in real life. I feel like I'm doing my own voice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Every time I do a voice character, it sounds so much different than my own voice. So yeah.
So you are also a stage actress, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, if that's okay.
Sure.
Broadway, obviously, off-Broadway, and all kinds of things. So I wanted to ask you if you could be in any Broadway show. Any of them. Any from present day to yeah.
I swear, the list is long. There's so many beautiful shows out there. Obviously, just for fun and like to feel like a rock star, I'd love to spend a week doing Hamilton. But because each one of the people in that cast is a virtuoso. But I loved the musical Once that came out a few years ago, which was based on the movie that people only really knew because of the soundtrack, which they won Best Song at the Oscars and stuff. But they took this sort of not well-known movie and turned it into an extraordinary musical. All of the actors were playing instruments on stage, as well as singing, as well as acting, as well as dancing. It was just a really, really beautiful use of the theater. I love that. Plays, I would love to do. There's a play called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which, I didn't even think about this at the moment, is incidentally about a young boy who has autism, and you see it through his eyes through the whole thing. And it is a tremendous... It is like a feat of theatrical... It's phenomenal. It's like, it is exactly, to me, it proves the reason that some things belong in the theater as opposed to on film, and some things belong on film as opposed to a theater. And when you use the medium of theater to its utmost, and challenge the audience to jump on all of these journeys with you, even though you're like, this was a couch and now it's a ship, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. When you challenge the audience to do that in the theater, I think it's really exciting.
I can see that you are very passionate about that. You lit up about it. My next question was going to be like, which one do you prefer? But I kind of see not a prefer.
It's really like it's the way I describe speaking several languages. I speak English, I speak Spanish, I speak French, a little Hindi, and Spanish and French are very similar. They're both Romance languages. They have a lot of the same roots, but they are completely different languages. So television and film are similar, but television, film, theater, voice acting, they're all branches of the same tree. They come from the same root. But then ultimately they have their own things that make them unique, and the pros and cons and the challenges and the opportunities. There are things that you can't do in the theater that you can pull off on TV and film. We can have a tremendously intimate moment, and I can be talking this quietly, and it carries. And it's beautiful, and the viewers right there, and they feel it with you. You can't do that in the theater.
No, you have to kind of handle
yourself. You have to project, and now that we use mics, sometimes you can, but only so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not necessarily a prefer, but which one do you think allows you specifically more freedom and more creativity?
Again, it's I
Stage,
can't say
voice.
Freedom and create. They all offer a certain amount of freedom and a certain amount of limitation. Mm-hmm. Voice acting is incredible because it doesn't matter what you look like.
Right.
I can be a dude. I can be a 10-year-old girl. I could be a chair. I could be a space monkey.
Very talented chair.
Hey, my chair work is solid. Solid. I just I'm a chair. Like, no.
Really
like,
get in the moment.
I really just get in that middle,
that
zen place.
Oh, you're a method actor.
I'm solid. Come sit here. I got you. That's apparently my audition for a chair.
That's your cast.
But you can go one day you're a 10-year-old girl, the next day you're a dragon, the next day you're Symmetra. It doesn't matter. So there is a tremendous amount of freedom there. That said, you are limited to the amount of your instrument that you get to use. Mm-hmm. So it's challenging. Because it all depends on what you can do with your voice, and not necessarily your facial expressions and your body language.
You're completely characterizing somebody only through one of your
Exactly. So there's a lot of freedom in it, but there's also limitation. And same thing with television and film and theater. Theater is nice as a performer because there is a consistency to it. Your journey from the beginning of the show to the end of the show. You know what you're going to be experiencing that night. It'll be a little different every night, but you know the journey you're about to take.
Yep.
TV and film, you might be shooting scene 1 one day, scene 5 the next day, scene 3 the next day. You don't know what time of day you're going to be shooting them necessarily. So that's a little more of a roller coaster, and you have to be on your toes almost at all times to go do the sprint instead of the marathon that you do when you're doing 8 shows a week in theater.
I'll tell you, the direct audience input from theater and stage acting is something that's quite incredible too. So you know exactly how well or how poorly you did.
Yes, especially if you're with student audiences, because student audiences do not they will take no. They'll be like, you suck. Like, they'll be awful to you if you are bad. Did
you ever catch someone's eye like midway through something you were doing and they made a face that you're just like, oh, what was that about?
Yes, but rarely does it it's usually like, huh. You know, it's the same way I'll take a drink of something if it's not my drink and I don't know it, and I'm like, oh, that was not my beverage. You know, it's just kind of this moment of like, I can clock it, but I can't really react.
Right, I'm not
usually
ready for it.
I mean, I might go backstage and be like, I'm so bad, but ultimately in that moment, it's my job. It's my job to be able to focus up and do that, so that the audience can do their job of focusing up and going on this journey together. Like you said, theater is unlike anything else in that there is this unspoken pact that we're all going to go on this journey together, and you as the audience are going to be as invested, ideally speaking, as I am here on the stage. The only difference is I'll experience it for you so you can go home and do your life intact the way it was when you left it. Mm-hmm. But I'll cry, I'll rail against the gods, I'll sing, I'll tap dance, whatever you need me to do up here for you to have the experience you need and to go on that journey, and then you can go back to your life. But if the audience isn't there with you, even just like actually paying attention, it's not even enjoying it, but if the audience isn't there with you, then you definitely feel it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is a question I doubt that you have ever gotten.
I'm excited, oh my gosh.
You were in You were in one episode of my all-time favorite show. That was unjustly canceled.
Flight of the Conchords.
No. Oh, that's a good show. Journeyman.
Oh gosh, with Kevin McKidd, who I called Journey Dad, because his kids came to set and they were so cute.
Oh, that's a moment I needed. That was a moment I needed.
Dad.
I love that show so much.
That was a great show.
And because of the writer's strike, it got mid-season canceled, and it was terrible timing, but that show had potential for ever. As far it was the smartest written sci-fi show I had watched.
It was pretty great. It was pretty great. And that was like when I first started coming out to LA too. It was right before the writer's strike. It was great timing.
Oh yeah, it really worked out well for you too.
It actually did. I ended up doing a play during the writer's strike, so it worked out okay.
So my question was: is there a show you in or that you're just a fan of that you had the same sort of experience with, where it was gone too soon from your life? Is there one that you're just like, I could have that
gone
back?
Too soon, like it was canceled, not gone too soon, like there weren't
canceled
episodes.
Yeah.
Because I feel that way after every season of Peaky Blinders. I'm like, how is it over? I just started. How are you done? No, I need more.
That's sort of the binging era now, too.
Right, exactly.
We're done with it much faster.
I don't know. I really can't. Now I'm drawing a blank. But that's a great question. But I'll tell you what, you give me your info, and I will straight up email, tweet,
we have these great business cards right
look,
here.
You guys, this is the Brotastic Nerddom.
So are you, to go back to Overwatch, are you keeping up with the league at all?
Yeah, we went to the league. A bunch of us went to see a few league games a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, and it's phenomenal. They've tricked out that studio. It's just like, it is an experience. It is immersive as an audience member as well. And I'm so blown away. I mean, like, I can't play the game without running into walls. I'm blown away by what these guys can do playing. And it's just such a fun thing. You know, we normally don't get this kind of sports experience when you're playing a game like this. Yeah. And so I think it's awesome.
Well, that's what's happening with the nerds taking over. Like, we're claiming.
Here's the thing, though. Forever, nerds and geeks, maybe not forever, but at least in recent history, nerds and geeks really genuinely rule the world. It's just when they step into their awesomeness and accept that being a nerd or a geek just means you're incredibly enthusiastic and educated about something that might not be mainstream, or that might be unique. That's all it means. It's awesome. Everyone should be a nerd or a geek about something.
You're not going to get any arguments from me.
I was like the queen of the nerds, the queen of the geeks when I was growing up. So like, I still feel like that now. This is my people.
Oh yeah,
I love being.
Oh yeah, the convention scene is just such a great experience. You're surrounded by everything you love, and everybody else loves the same things.
Yeah, and everyone's so supportive of people exploring their freedom. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really cool place to be.
It's a great place to be. Mm-hmm.
Hello everybody, Trashboat here. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow us on the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the links below. Alright.